Hello and welcome back to Monster Train. Today's intro is in the style of, you guys remember Ray William Johnson? Remember that era in history on YouTube where Ray William Johnson was the #1 most subscribed person on the internet? This is a tribute to Ray William Johnson. And so to do this intro, I'm going to say, "What's up, YouTube?" I don't think he said "What's up, YouTube." I think he just said, "Hey, guys." But and then I'm just gonna for the rest of this intro, and actually for the rest of the episode, I'm just going to show other videos instead of doing something else. This is not a dig at Ray William Johnson. It was a very different time, but he was basically just, here's 3 videos that I found that were popular on the internet. Here's how many views they got. Here's a bad joke about them. It's a very strange time. I used to watch Equals 3 religiously when I was younger, when Ray William Johnson was like, it's crazy that Ray William Johnson, like from the perspective now, crazy that Ray William Johnson was the most subscribed person on this platform at one time. Like, really wild. But this is the Ray William Johnson themed intro because why not? I was thinking about him before this. Now I'm going to begin the run and I'm going to tell you a crazy fact. It's not, I mean, it is 4 o'clock, but it's 4 o'clock p.m. I know. It's 4 o'clock p.m. I'm not recording this at a super, super late time. Absolutely ridiculous, I know, but I am turning over a new leaf. I'm not recording at 4 in the morning anymore. I'm probably going to lose this new leaf very quickly. However, I'm gonna try and start recording earlier in the day. The reason that I stopped, because I used to record earlier in the day, but I stopped because I started doing college again. And now the beginnings of my day, the first 3 or so hours, are just me working on school every day. But that's beside the point. Besides, again, uncertain. Anyway, hope you're doing well today. It is Tuesday for you, Monday for myself, and yeah, let's get to it, shall we? Don't forget to like the video, comment the video, subscribe to the video. Let's begin. We are Exile Awoken, Exile Stygian. We have Explosive Sigil Data. This took me a second. Failure Arcus, Diligent Seraph, Razor Sharp Edge, Crystallis, and Preserved Thorns. I am going to use what we learned last week, I think, when we played Exile Awoken, to not lose this run. Jackstrips is good. Razor Sharp Edge is a strong starter. I'm happy to play quick. I think that we will find pretty easily we'll find something good to put in front of him, get him up to 3 multi-strike, giga scale, and win. And our early game isn't particularly frightening because of Jackstrips. I'm not going to take the Spikes trial because extra damage on Wendleton, I think it can cause an issue. Most likely it would not cause us an issue, but I think it can cause us an issue of him potentially dying to the boss. If it were for a unit draft, I would take it with a little more certainty. However, yeah, I don't think it matters a ton either way, to be honest with you. I don't think that the 75 gold that I miss out on there is that big of a deal, and I don't think the potential loss of health is that big of a deal. But, you know. This is definitely looking like a run for energy. I need to, give me 1 second here. Something is wrong with how I'm sitting or how my microphone is positioned. I'm gonna move you here. My microphone is in the way when I'm sitting up, and I can't see the top left of my screen right now. So I'm gonna move you back a little bit. This is a temporary fix. I need to adjust the mic arm. I don't know why it is suddenly an issue, but it is. I will adjust it after this. Maybe it's just like I've changed how I'm sitting recently, I'm not sure. We have a really strong start, by the way. If you can't tell by the fact that Daedalus is at 9 HP here, we're really strong to begin. I definitely could have played the Spikes trial and gotten the extra money, but that's okay. I'm not sweating it either way. Sting seems fine. We're probably going to pick up a unit that incants to put in front of Wendleton. I probably should have taken Thornlord just because I'm planning on playing incants anyway, but it's too late for that. Big offering token. Be fine with it. So I'm looking for Armor Shark here. I'll take Hot Shark if you have it. Armor Shark, in-can armor 2. Nameless Siren, or Siren of the Sea is also fine. Hot Shark's fine. I actually think I will just make him into Armor Shark by giving him in-can armor 2. Instead of making him Endless, I'll just give him in-can armor 2 and he'll tank for Wendleton. It's a little weird, but I think it's fine. Just because it's here, right? I would maybe hold off otherwise, like, because we'll probably see a better unit for that, but I think it's fine to just use that. I'll take the unit draft here for sure. I think it's fine to use him like this because in the worst case of taking the in-can armor 2, like in the outcome that is the worst for me given the current circumstance of I took in-can armor 2, I just have a shark that's like 25 health down but has endless, right? And in the best case, I guess I have a 35 health armor incanting shark, but in the better cases we have the worst cases, I should say, are the cases where we see Armor Shark, and this decision ends up being a waste. However, in the more likely circumstances here, we're probably just going to use this guy as an armor source, or like as a frontliner forever, because I might just not take Armor Shark here, and I'll just give him 2 incant armor 2s or something like that. I don't know, I think that ultimately it doesn't make a huge difference. I should have played Preserve Thorns. Ultimately, I don't think it makes a big difference. I think that Incant Armor 2 and Incant Armor 3 are really similar. Obviously, Armor Shark has a baseline, but, you know. I think that we're in a pretty similar position either way, of we're going to incant a lot of armor out. The difference in attack doesn't matter, and having this like fallback backline plan for when Jack Strips falls off isn't a bad idea either. I don't hate Glimmer. Ideally we don't have the shark taking hits, but he might be. Like ideally he's just taking hits against the bosses. I guess the other upside is he's better against relentless bosses because he stacks up from some frostbite. I don't like another Razor Sharp here, not without a Steel Enhancer anyway. I think I like the Glimmer of these the most. The Vine Grasp I just don't think matters. It's like fine. I don't think it's great, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I'll just take it because it's fine. The Siren Song is not exactly the card I expected to see here. However, it's fine. I think it's okay. I don't think we particularly need it. I don't really care for any of these then. Ice Tornado is not great in Exile Stygian, I don't think. Siren Song is like, it's fine, but we have so many answers already that I don't think I need to add another one for heavies. I could also pick up another shark. One shark that just scales armor, one shark that just chills and kills backline. But then again, it's like maybe I take this one and then I give him plus 25 and endless, right? I'm down to grab a second shark. This can be a 2-shark run. I'm gonna change how I'm sitting, because I don't like the microphone being that far away. I know it mostly doesn't make a difference, but I don't like it. Oh, it was just too far away, huh? Now I gotta mess with my microphone stand a little bit. Something feels wrong, but I cannot quite figure out what it is. The artifact is cool if we see double incant, but I'm just gonna go left here. Plus 25. The skill shop for the sharks feels like it's the way to go here. And I'm looking for endless. Multi-strike is fine. Another incant armor 2, and now we have an incant armor 4 shark, which is solid. Vine Mother is interesting for Diligent Seraph. I don't know where I would be just placing her down, and I think it's fine too because she's a lot of upsides here. I'm just gonna place her like middle floor, and then she's gonna generate us 4 or 5 stings before dying, and I think that's fine. I have learned my lesson the one time that I took this 25 pyre health and then died, and I don't like the rate of 5 pyre health for 25 gold. So I think I'll skip this. I think that this is a bad rate, and I think that honestly this is a bad rate too. I think I would just pass it. I've been told it's a very specific number, but my number for health to gold translation is like 13 health for 150 gold is about as much as I'm okay with. Grab a plus 25 for the Vine Mother while I'm here. Do I want a card remove? Nah, I think we're fine. I know that's a very specific number, but 13 is like a bad outcome on the invasion trial in the floors 4 and 5. So that's generally what I think about in terms of how much is too much health loss. It's not a hard and fast rule. That was really dumb. Playing that, not a good idea. I just like instinctively played Root Seeds. Should not have. I don't have healing either, so he is going to, yeah. I shouldn't have my man taking damage here. However, it's not the end of the world. It's just, if this were the older version of Razor Sharp, it would not make a difference whatsoever, but it'll make a small difference because he'll basically only take 2 hits from Daedalus instead of 3. I don't think it will matter, but I still should not be making a mistake like that. I'm just not looking at my energy particularly closely here. To be fair, I guess this is a situation. A lot of times I find myself getting very careless when I feel like the outcome of the combat is predetermined, and this one is not quite predetermined, but it's pretty close. We would have to have a lot go wrong in order to die in this combat. We're pretty strong. Killing this guy with stings is overconfident and maybe bad. I'll remedy this by playing 2 frostbites. And again, like the downside if I'm wrong is I take like 3 pyre damage, but I'm not. We're fine. Nothing to be afraid of. I guess I can just triple sting. It makes no difference. Yeah, my man's at 32 frostbite. Wowie. This is definitely not a run for draw. We have so many sources of card draw in this. It's probably going to be energy space on this run. Vine Mother really puts us over the top in terms of how much draw do we have, the answer being a ton. Yeah. With Incan Armor 4 on the Frostbite Shark, we're going to kill Daedalus. I think the Shark alone would kill Daedalus at this point with how much Frostbite's already been passively stacked on him. In later combats, we will not stack this much Frostbite, but we will stack a pretty good amount. This is a combat that has a high number of small hits on the Shark, so the Frostbite stacks up pretty quickly and pretty heavily. And yeah, not too terrible. Unleash is okay, Awoken's Rail Spike is okay, Hoarfrost Effigy is interesting because I could maybe just play it. And that, like, this could be a run where Hoarfrost Effigy could win for us. If I had taken Flash Freeze earlier, I would be a little more confident in that. But with the amount of draw and cycling we're doing on floating bosses like Seraph, we're going to probably stack up a good amount of Frostbite just passively. And then I can maybe play 2 or 3 Hoarfrost Effigies. Because if you start at, say you start at 20, right? You duplicate 20 to 40, and ticks down like twice. He takes like, maybe he takes another round of Frostbite, so he's gonna go be up to like 48, and then you duplicate that number again, around 48 doubles up to about 92, and then you duplicate that number one more time, and all of a sudden you're sitting around 180 Frostbite if you play 3 Hoarfrost Effigies on Seraph. And that's not bad. It's a lot of factors, a ton of variance, but I don't think it's crazy to see Hoarfrost Effigy representing somewhere in the range of like 100-ish Frostbite added to Seraph, which is a lot of damage per round. And if we pick up some other form of Frostbite like Titan's Tooth, it's even more. I'm down to give it a shot just because it's interesting and we're playing something similar. I'm pretty sure it's fine. The other 2 cards I think there are pretty worthless. Rail Spike's fine always, and Unleash is also just fine, but this is a little more interesting. We have a ton of draw to support it, so I'll give it a shot. And then if we could also do something where we duplicate it, right? And all of a sudden, like, duplicating, that's not something that I've ever tried, but it could win pretty well. You just, like, make 3 Hoarfrost Effigies and blow up floating bosses. Obviously, the big problem with this idea is you lose to floors 4, 5, and 7. But we should not lose to floors 4, 5, and 7 as it is. You also lose to heavies, but we should not lose to heavies either. So it's an interesting one. I want to go to the left and grab the magic shop and the money, especially since there's no magic shop coming up. Going to the steel shop probably, and then this magic. I can do magic shop here, steel shop and removals here, and then we can duplicate the Hoarfrost effigy because I want to follow this through. I think it's an interesting idea that I just have not tried because I always go, haha, Hoarfrost effigy. Who cares? You could also hold it over, I guess. Oh yeah, I could just hold it over. Huh. Before I do any of this, I want to go take a look at which Strangler or Predator we're taking. It is Strangler. I think we scale at a rate where Strangler is fine to grab, and we play Predator 2, Strangler 1. Strangler handles everything, and then I just Hoarfrost effigy bosses away. I think it's good. I think we have, like, with the Razor Sharps, with the Crystallis, with the Shark as well, who's going to be able to tank forever. I'm pretty sure this is fine, and then we have a pretty competent boss plan with the Hoarfrost effigy. Let's give it a go. And then I'm gonna try it. We're gonna try hold over Hoarfrost effigy here. It's a little awkward because it's 2 energy, and in non-floating combats it's really bad. So I'm probably not even gonna play it in non-floating combats, but on Arcus and Seraph, I think it's really good. At this point, the Shark is too late. I do not want him. It's an interesting run because I'm pretty confident if I commit to 3 Strangler, we win this run 100% of the time. However, or sorry, if I commit not to 3 Strangler, but to 3 of the other one. Triple Predator. I think we 100% win with Triple Predator, but I'm trying this because why not? Quick Strangler is also fun. I took this trial without even mentioning it because we have Strangler. If the enemies go past this floor, we died anyway, is my hypothesis. And these light harnessers should never make it past this floor. That's the wrong Shark. My mistake. I don't think it matters if I play the wrong Shark particularly much, although it might actually matter. I guess we'll see. If I lose it, I'll just replay it, but with the correct Shark, right? That's just me forgetting that there's 2 Sharks on the run because I was talking about something else. I think it doesn't make a big difference, though. And I'm not even going to bother. I guess I play him up here, and I can throw incants at him as a fallback plan, plus a Hoarfrost effigy. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it doesn't matter, but I'll be a little more cautious moving forward. I swear. Definitely want to toss away these train stewards. They are worthless. Hilarious. Monster train. Absolutely hilarious. Very funny. Yeah, I can throw those up there. We want to be incanting down, or not incanting, but buffing Thornlord, but we want to be incanting top floor. Like when I'm playing these things, I just incant up here. Throw Root Seeds on Wendleton. Gorgon up there. Train Steward down here. I believe we're fine. Yeah, we're definitely fine. I just hold over this Hoarfrost effigy and then he'll die over the next turn. Or I can just put Razor Sharp down and Root Seeds. I'm off by 3. I believe I'll have him by 3 here. Yeah, pay closer attention, remember in the future, but also my man dies to jack strips, so it's fine. Emblem of the Exiles, or no, this isn't, sorry, this isn't Emblem, this is Tempered Talisman, my mistake. Tempered Talisman is also fine though. It's, there's no downside in this clan. It's pretty big on Glimmer, but other than that it's mostly just A-okay. Pyogre definitely I don't want, although having a 5th energy with held over Hoarfrost effigy can be nice. You know what, I'll give it a shot. I think it's fine here. Glacial Seal. Oh my god, it might be a run for Glacial Seal. This is the Glacial Seal time to shine. I need another source of Frostbite. Glacial Seal is, in its most literal sense, a source of Frostbite. And I don't think we care too much about what the source of Frostbite is on these floating combats. I'm gonna try it. I'm unhinged at this point. You can't stop me. And now I just thin the deck down a little bit. We remove these bad cards and are fine. I'm allowed to do all of this because we have a really consistent setup of draw. quick on the Glacial Seal seems really good, doesn't it? I'm just looking for Endless. No Endless. A lot of multi-strikes and in-can armor 2s though, which is what I would like to see anyway. In a normal run. I'll remove Train Stewards here. Just gonna spend all my money here. I think it's fine too. Just to be safe, you know? Just to be safe. Stealth boss? No, sweep boss. Multi-strike in this combat is not a big deal because the quick, I believe, will mostly cancel this. I guess this guy's gonna do 14 times 2, which is 28, whereas otherwise it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, and then 12. I guess it's 28 regardless. So the damage output is not increased particularly much by multi-strike, I don't think. And mostly this trial should be fine. My shark doesn't take a ton of damage. The back 2 waves I recognize are a little frightening because of the armor enemies, but you know, we also have this shark down here to try and fight it off. But the idea is just that by the time we get to the wave where it's actually a little frightening, we are outpacing them. That is my thinking. By the time we get there, we have played enough, I hope. I think on these non-relentless, or like non-floating boss combats, I don't even bother with Hoarfrost effigy. On this combat, why even bother? I could do it to duplicate this man's frostbite, but I don't need to. Instead, I will just scale. Again, Glacial Seal, same thing. I don't care about Glacial Seal in this run. It's here for no reason. He takes exactly enough to die here. If I Glimmer, he will not, because he'll heal past the 16 damage threshold. That seems worth. Because now he gets to impact this combat a little bit with 9 damage. I think these guys are also going to set up pretty well. This is Sycophants against the Sweep Boss, so maybe I should be planning on using that holdover Frostbite strategy. The Sweep Boss can definitely cause us some issues. The Frostbite is like our secondary boss killing plan though. Gonna try and deal with it here. Because your Wendleton is not scaling at a rate that is particularly enticing, I would say. I'm gonna just play out all of these spells. Try and incant the shark up a bunch, because this is a little frightening. I will not lie. I'm going to attempt to Glacial Seal him? Seal his fate? I think so, actually. I think this is Glacial Seal's time to shine. I know it's not going to be a lot, but it's a baseline of 8 frost on the boss that we can start doubling, which is not going to be nothing. It also clears that floor out for us, which is really good. 348. So I Hoarfrost Effigy right now, and then I play these 2 Frost Foregone Powers, because if I miss the Foregone Powers, it's a fucking nightmare. Nice Crystallis. Yeah, we're chilling. Again, we barely sneak by this one, but it's more, this one's a bit more, like, I had to think. Once again, don't forget who saved this run. When I'm doing the thank yous to everything that won this run, don't forget Glacial Seal. Thank you, Glacial Seal. You've done it again. You mad genius. Wow, Trader's Quill is so strong for Seraph here. I guess it's not so strong, but it is pretty good. I don't need Preserve Thorns here. Good channel song for Glacial Seal. It's actually like... it's actually not bad. But that's a little bit ridiculous. My god. Gifts for a Guard is pretty decent on this run. We're gonna mostly pull Stings. A lot of these cards in here I don't care about. The only card that matters is Hoarfrost Effigy. And this deck is pretty thick. I don't mind Gifts for you. It's mostly just gonna make big Stings and a bunch of incants on a single turn, which I'm down with. So I don't need to duplicate anymore. The plan has shifted to just hold over Hoarfrost on these floating bosses. Cleansing Water is not it. I'll just take money here. I don't have an interest in that one. -1. Gifts for a Guard is the one that pops out to me, but I think that's wrong. I think it's just Root Seeds. Root Seeds is a card that is better to have that 0 cost, I think, because I'll pay the 3 energy for gifts when I draw it, but paying 1 energy for Root Seeds isn't always something that I'm going to want to do. Take Glimmer up to 15 to clear some Purifiers. And again, Root Seeds for the same logic. I know Razor Sharp Edge could also follow that same line, but in these floating combats, it's going to often be more important to have that +1 draw than it is to have the Razor Sharp, I think, because our boss killing plan is the Razor Sharp, or not the Razor Sharp, sorry, the Frostbite. And drawing into Frostbite quicker is important. I'm just thinking about if I want to purge here. I think we're fine. Just a momentary thought about it, though, because, you know, trying to actually think in today's episode. Incant Shard can definitely give us some issues, but this will be a good test of how well this run is actually going to look. How much Frostbite we put up on Arcus is going to be a good test. I'm really uncertain of how much Frostbite we're going to put up on Arcus here. It's going to be somewhere between a lot and 0, and I'm excited to see which one it is. Okay. Incant Armor Shark goes here, Big Health Shark goes down there. Let me just throw some numbers at you. The fact that the shark is not endless, the bottom 4 shark, he's not endless, that is going to cause some issue, I believe. Not a ton, but some issue. I'm gonna try and sneak some Frostbite up to the top 4 on this turn as well. I'll throw a 6 at him. I don't see a reason not to. If he didn't Incant Shard up there, I would have pushed a bunch more, but alas. Right, now this hand right here, frightening. Also, not super strong on our scaling against these incanting enemies, but why did I say it like that? These incanting enemies. Enemies. Anyway, this is the Glacial Seal moment, by the way. Glacial Seal. Fuck him up. Look at that guy. My god. I mean, I'm just gonna double this every time for the rest of the combat and then he dies, right? Oh yeah, he comes mid-floor here? Oh god, that's ugly. The Incant Shard really shuts me down though. Wow, that's so tragic that he Incant Sharded that floor. Holy moly, that's sad. Because now I'm gonna have to like power up all of these cards in cost. I think it is worth it to increase the cost of most of these cards. I'll send away like this one. And I will just play the Preserve Thorns. I can save you, boy. I think I will. These Root Seeds unfortunately have their cost increased, and so does Razor Sharp, but we get 168. The transferring off of the floor is actually really big. I did not realize... I should have realized, but I did not realize how many of these cards that I'm playing are Frostbite to everything. It's more than I would have initially anticipated, for sure. We lose him. Sad to see you go, Glacial Seal. But you served your purpose. I think we're getting a pretty good look at how much Frostbite we're going to put on these enemies with Holdover Hoarfrost. The answer is a bit. It is some Frostbite. I mean, Arcus isn't going to make it too relentless in this combat. Or he is, but he's going to die soon after anyway. Real quick test. I think if I play this Hoarfrost Effigy, these cards go to 1 cost, but I'm not certain. They do go to 1 cost. Cool. A good, like, we're gonna win this combat. He's dead now. He makes it to Relentless, but not for long. And this wasn't a particularly high rolly draw either. We just, like, had these enemies on the middle floor not die, and they just sat there with Frostbite, which I then transferred onto Arcus. That seems good. I don't want any of these. Particularly, I am not interested. We would have looked a lot better on the middle floor as well if I didn't have the Incant Shard shut me down on a huge Incant turn. We would have incanted like 40 plus armor on that turn, but I got shut down by the Incant Shard. And we still crushed it, so I'm feeling pretty good. The interesting option is space here, because I can use space to put Glacial Seal on the floor with Wendleton and the Shark, but is that good? I think it's okay. I mean, it also just it lets me set up top 4 every time if I want that. Although I'm not sure I want that. I think the extra time to incant on floor 7, or the extra time to double on floor 7 might be important. I'll take space. It's never a draw, and I think we have 5 energy with Pyre Grow, so I think space is the only thing that really bothers me here. Endless on the other shark would be good too here. Removals are a little more questionable now. I wonder if it's ever Crystallis. I'm not sure. Quick, plus 25. Just keep rolling for that Endless. There it is. You go to enough shops, eventually you'll find it. I take this. Yeah, okay. Save the rest of my money. I could put like plus 10 on the Glacial Seal, but he shouldn't need it. Right, wrong button. This is what I meant to click on. Unstable Vortex is for what? I don't think it's Crystallis, because Crystallis is a good hit on gifts. I think it's Foregone Power. Maybe Razor Sharp, but Razor Sharp is really about to power up for us. I think it's Foregone Power. I just take 2 of these out. I don't need to do a whole lot. Like, these are good cards. Foregone Power are good for incanting, but we have these stings that we're going to load up on, so I'm not worried about that part. And we'll be taking Predator 2 for Multi-Strike 1. I think we're pretty solid here. Purifiers are a little bit worrying. Mark of Invasion Trial. I'll take this just because I want the money, and I'm pretty sure we take very little from it. Now, Purifiers could potentially pose us an issue. For sure. I'm gonna take 20 on the Shark here, which isn't great. And we're gonna take 20 on the Pyre. So 20 Pyre health for 400 gold is a good trade, I would say. And now we get the Endless Shark. The curses are going to stack up 1 at a time, and then they're going to go away. We'll get 1 curse per turn. I have to watch my Shark, though. I have to really focus on not having him die. So I'm going to focus on that here. Fire Grow is fine, and I kind of want to play Glimmer. I don't think it's right. I think I can just save the Pyre HP. In my mind, I want to play Glimmer, but I'm pretty sure I can just save the Pyre health. Now, of course, Purifiers do not die to a single Hot Shark, as we are all well aware, I'm sure. I'm going to hold off on playing Gifts for Regard here. The Glacial Seal is in position. Ladies and gentlemen, we've sealed their fate. I am effectively drawing 6 cards per turn right now. But pretty soon we're going to just wipe these floors out without any damage going to my Shark, I hope. Although he's just taking damage. I'm a little worried about dying to the boss. Almost gonna be an optimal thing to us, for us to just leave these enemies alive on this floor somehow. I can't do that, obviously, but it almost seems like it would be good, right? I'm going to start holding over Hoarfrost Effigy now, though. Actually, I can kill this one if I discard my Hoarfrost, though. It's really bad. I think I need to hold it, so I'm going to hold it here. Because I think I need it for the boss. Suppose we'll see, though. It's 10 per turn. I'm not too worried. I have to play this on an enemy here. Yeah, it's fine. I should have incanted one more time. That's my mistake. Right, this enemy, the Living Armor, can definitely pose us an issue. However, I think we're fine. I'm going to play Self-Mutilation, and I'm just going to Gifts. Playing Gifts means that I don't play Hoarfrost Effigy. An interesting decision. I think it's fine, because like doubling Frostbite on this guy is not going to be particularly strong anyway. We want to be very, very careful here, because we have to do like a modicum of thinking to make sure I don't accidentally die here. razor sharp, right? There we go. And I just stop. I don't fuck with living armor here. I don't play any more cards. We don't flex on him in any way. I will not, because you're always one like, oops, I accidentally gave him one more, or I accidentally lost one round of hits against him from dying to that man. And I did not want that to be me. We took 20 damage for 400 gold, which is, when you're at full health, a worthy trade, I would say. And it wasn't really a position where that trial was ever going to put us in a bad spot. I was confident that we would never be in a position where we take much more than 30 damage. And we took 20, because we drew a sting on turn 1. Sometimes we take 0, sometimes we take 30. 20 is about an average hit, I would say. I do not hate Rail Spike here. If we hit Hoarfrost Effigy with this, it's nutty. And it's just fine otherwise. Unnamed Tome, Preserve is decent. We can hold. Yeah, freezing an important card could be cool. I'm down with Preserve. Or Frost Effigy or Gifts for a Guard are both really good hits on that one. Removals, or I just kind of want to go to the magic shop. I don't care about the removals or the duplicate or the money or the pyre health here particularly much. Not super interested in any of these. I will roll because we have a lot of money to spend here. Kinstone Totem is decent. I will probably buy that. Third holdover. I'm telling you, I've seen so much holdover lately. No complaints. I don't mind seeing all this holdover. I've just seen an absurd amount of holdover lately. I don't need it. I guess I could hold over Offering Token. It's a free incant, and if I take Kinstone Totem, it's +1 energy per turn. And I can just use it to, like, discard curses every turn. Seems good. I'm down. 1 incant per turn, discard curses every turn, +1 energy with Kinstone every turn. Seems fine. What am I removaling here? That's the next big question. I think that removing Gorgon Power got worse with the potential Kinstone. I think that Crystallis is fine to go here, honestly. I don't see myself playing these particularly much. I'm just going to toss them. And then I'll duplicate... I could duplicate Hoarfrost Effigy, but it's very expensive. I don't really have the energy to do that either. I could duplicate the Offering Token, but I don't think that's good either. I'm just going to duplicate a free Root Seeds. I think that's fine. And we'll do a Purge. I'll Purge one more Foregone Power. And this deck should win. I mean, we saw it on Arcus. We put up 700 Frostbite, which is enough to kill Seraph if Seraph went to the Pyre at full health, I'm pretty sure. I guess it wouldn't quite kill Seraph from full health at the Pyre, but let's not let Seraph go to the Pyre at full health. How's that? I wonder here if I'm supposed to play bottom 4. I think that in the circumstance, I just play... We took space so we could guarantee our setup. Losing space mid 4 is the only way that our setup ever particularly changes. And I think that all that I do here is I don't play my Glacial Seal. I think I just let the Glacial Seal go. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're in like a bit of an awkward one, for sure. It's a very, very awkward turn 1. Absolutely. I'm not too concerned, though. I could consume the raid. I'm probably not playing Pyre Grow here. I think that since our early draw is really bad, I'm going to consume this Razor Sharp to kill the Purifier. I know it's going to put more damage on the Shark, but I don't really care. And this way we don't take a curse next turn. And then we can potentially, yeah, start to draw through. Now we get Vine Mother out. We have the extra draw every turn. I'm just going to consume every sting. When the option to consume is here, I will consume the stings. And we're going to push damage into Seraph here. We get the Frostbite rolling. We're at 7 draw. It's fine. Pyro got to show itself off in terms of when is it really bad. Right there, when you draw at turn 1, it's particularly suboptimal. Or Frost Effigy on this turn is a little bit of a shame, but I don't think it's too bad. I'm gonna throw the 1-cost Root Seeds. I could just wait on Hoarfrost Effigy, but even at 2, if I duplicate every turn, we're winning like really soon. So I'm going to keep the Hoarfrost, and I'm gonna let self-mutilation hit me for 1 actually, or I guess 5, but you know, because just duplicating. Actually, if I duplicate all, so what I can do here is I can bank the frostbite that's about to go away onto this Gilded Wing, and then hope that Seraph goes mid 4. I know that that's like a 50-50, and I think Seraph is due to go top 4, but I can. It's like I'm duplicating the 4. What do I care about 4? Frostbite here. So instead I can potentially, I'm banking 52 Frostbite that I might be able to push to Seraph next turn if he goes mid-4, which would be really big. Ah, too bad. If that did work out though, I would look like a fucking massive genius, right? How absurd would that be? Alright, I just put Preserve Thorns here. And I could bank the Frostbite again actually. Can I? I don't think I can. I think this guy dies. It's 120. It's like 136, right? That will be on him plus the 60. Yeah, just like need to daze Wendleton here. Too bad. It would have looked cool as hell though, right? Come on. What a massive brain play if that works out. Too bad. I do need to incant my boy a little bit. We'll draw into the offering token, Endless Shark dies. We're pretty comfortable from this position, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, and then on this turn we go big. Unfortunately, Glacial Seal, it is not your time to shine. However, our preliminary frostbiting has begun, and now we go big. 138. We duplicate that 2 more times and we just win, right? 138 goes to 260, goes to like 540, and then he enters Relentless and we go to 1000. This is over. We won. The only way I lose this is if I somehow take my entire Pyre health in damage over the next 4 turns. Which means that this 4 that we're on in the middle 4 here has to die for that to happen. So the only way that I lose is if this 4 dies now. And I know it's like, oh, what are you talking about losing for? You're gonna, like, the win is almost guaranteed, right? It's still worth considering, because if I let this 4, like, Giga Stack and then drop, I could maybe see this one slipping away. But it's very unlikely. I will tell you, it's very unlikely because we incant for 4. We have a ton of free incants going here as well. Can toss self-mutilation away. Is there a way I can sneak a little extra frostbite in here by playing Sting first? It's worth 12, which isn't a ton. I guess it's worth 3, 6, 9, 12. It's worth 24 because of the double, but still, we're fine. We're winning. The run is over. I hit both root seeds that were already free. Hilarious. I'll just keep freezing cards. This is a really cool run, I think. I really, really like this run. I mean, just sitting here and duplicating things is fun. I will admit, it is fun to just sit here and duplicate energy. Or rather, duplicate Frostbite. Because big number look funny. Hee big number go burr. As they say. But the Strangler pickup into just choking out all of these heavies very slowly, but we have a permanently surviving unit to tank for it, into our game plan being start at 2 Frostbite and duplicate to 1000. It's just kind of fun. I enjoy big number, and this is a run that has big number. I don't want to accidentally kill Seraph here, but at the same time I think I will just duplicate and then we'll end up at 2400. So I think that there is something really interesting about this run, which is, like, obviously, haha, duplicating is really good. Every turn it's really strong, right? Of course. But at the same time, I think the thing that's really interesting about this run is the way that it interacts with 4-7. I was much more frightened of dying to 4-7's boss than I was of dying to Seraph. Significantly more afraid. Because of the nature of Frostbite in a run like this, and the fact that I can duplicate on Seraph every turn where I can't duplicate on the regular bosses every turn. Like, I can't stack 2600 Frostbite over 3 turns on Living Armor, right? I cannot. But I can on Seraph because Seraph exists in the floating combats. It's I think that that's a really interesting piece of this game, right? Uh, there are runs where Seraph is never the scariest enemy. I think I did talk about it when I picked up Hoarfrost Effigy. Significantly, like it's going to be significantly closer on floors 4, 5, and 7 than it is on floors 6 and 8. And it was, right? If you remember, floor 4, 4, 5, and floor 7, we killed the boss with like 2 HP to spare on the boss, right? We barely killed him. Seraph died with like fucking potential. I could have put 2400 frostbite on Seraph there. So yeah, really cool, really fun. I really like this run. And I really like you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.